Good morning. My name is Heath Dobby, and I am an aspiring physical education pre-service teacher. I am deeply committed to supporting mental and physical health, developing holistic abilities, and empowering students to discover and grow into the best versions of themselves. Influences from my parents, teachers, philosophers, and my own experiences gave me a deep appreciation for the beauty in life. This mentality led me in pursuit of growth, connection, and fulfillment. I became dedicated to becoming the best version of myself and enjoying what life is all about, because to me, it just made the most sense. Through living and sharing my philosophy with my inner circle, I saw it positively influence people's lives. The ability to develop strong relationships and guide people to discover their passions and grow as individuals gave me deep fulfillment. It was then that my passion for teaching ignited. The following presentation delves into my holistic philosophy of classroom management and how it is informed by institutional policies, relevant theories and frameworks, professional standards, and proactive strategies. My philosophy of classroom management is fundamentally built upon institutional policies and applies relevant strategies to enhance student engagement and regulate behavior. The Disability Discrimination Act of 1992 and the Disability Standards of Education 2005 make disability discrimination unlawful and seek to ensure all students have equitable access in education. Both policies influence how I create and maintain inclusive and supportive learning environments through removing barriers to participation and treating all students fairly. The Australian Professional Standards for Teachers outline professional responsibilities in classroom management. Standard 4, create and maintain supportive and safe learning environments, outlines the importance of implementing inclusive strategies, managing behavior fairly, and promoting student well-being. I follow the standards to enhance and reflect on my pedagogical practice so I can provide my students with the absolute best education possible. The New South Wales Government defines effective classroom management as essentially creating an optimal classroom environment where learning and teaching can take place effectively. An optimal learning environment is organised by effective structure, instruction, and discipline. This set of organisers supports my personal belief in classroom management in terms of effective planning, quality student-teacher relationships, and self-regulation. This policy is what I base my approach to effective classroom management rules, routines, and regulations. The New South Wales Government recommends setting positive classroom climates, effective rules and routines, and clear instruction to engage students to prevent misbehaviour. When students do display challenging behaviour, effective strategies to respond to disruption include identifying why the student is disruptive, ensuring that the student understands the response, and that the response is consistent, calm, and expected. These institutional policies fundamentally shape my pedagogical practice and approach to effective classroom management. Constellance urges us as educators to develop a framework that recognises multiple educational pedagogies. Acknowledging a range of perspectives develops a strong and holistic approach to classroom management. The three-phase positive learning framework and Uri Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory are two holistic approaches to classroom management I have adopted into my own pedagogical practice. The positive learning framework presents a strength-based model that focuses on fostering positive, engaging, and well-managed learning environments. The three phases of the positive learning model are preparing to teach, teaching the lesson, and responding to student behavior. These phases are designed for teachers to reflect on their practice and support proactive, intentional teaching that encourages student engagement and regulates behavior effectively. The positive learning framework is a holistic approach to classroom management as it focuses on supporting the student's overall well-being and development through proactive and intentional teaching strategies. Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory identifies the many influences on children's mental health and development. The theory identifies 5 key systems of the surrounding environment that represent different layers of influence on children's development. When considering a holistic approach to support students, it is important to understand how relationships and context between families, schools, and community impact student development. As educators, it's significant that we foster positive interactions and relationships between these systems to effectively influence student learning, behavior, and well-being. This model is adopted into my holistic view of classroom management to acknowledge that behavior and learning are influenced by a wider system and to ultimately support the development of students. Parents and carers are the first and most important influence on a child's development and education. It is a national priority for educators to commit to building meaningful partnerships with parents to support student success. Collaborating with parents creates opportunities to engage with the community and support the development and well-being of young people and their families. It is crucial for the education community to work in partnership with parents and caregivers to enhance student engagement, well-being, and achievement. Strong parent-teacher partnerships play a direct and influential role in classroom management, as they create consistent expectations and provide an extended support network. When teachers and parents communicate consistently to co-design goals and expectations, it becomes clear to the student what is expected of them to meet learning and behavioral standards. When teachers and parents collaborate, students receive academic, social, and emotional support through consistent care and guidance. Although the benefits of a strong parent-teacher partnership are clear, there are some barriers to fostering this relationship. The challenge often presents itself as communication barriers, time constraints, and conflicting expectations. These barriers can be addressed by implementing procedures to prioritize consistent and genuine communication between parents and teachers to address the students' needs and expectations. In practice, this can involve offering flexible meeting times, adopting a strength-based approach, and establishing shared learning goals. To support student engagement and self-regulation, I build positive student-teacher relationships and critically analyze my teaching identity and practices. Quality student-teacher relationships support social and emotional development and enhance student behavior, motivation, and effort. These relationships are created through inclusive learning strategies. These strategies include showing genuine interest in the students, providing constant emotional support, attending to the students' individual needs, and ensuring fair and equal treatment for all. The use of inclusive learning strategies in teaching ensures students have a sense of belonging, which supports self-regulation and welcomes students to engage in their learning. Fundamental to building positive student-teacher relationships, teachers must self-differentiate to manage their emotions and understand their values while staying connected to the students. It is important for educators to understand their personal philosophy of education to provide clarity and guidance in teaching. My philosophy of teaching is to ultimately empower students to discover and grow into the best versions of themselves. To empower students, I must model strong virtues and build meaningful connections. I must organize a safe, inclusive, and engaging learning environment and build strong interpersonal relationships with every student to cultivate their connection, education, and success.